Hello, everyone. My name is Joan Lumb, and I'm a docent at the Norton Museum of Art. I invite you to explore with me an object from the Norton's collection of Chinese art as part of our series of Docent Spotlight talks. We're examining a work with a story and lots of symbolism entitled White Jade Mountain with Travelers on Horseback from the Qing dynasty of the late 1700s. It is carved from white nephrite jade, which is extremely rare, but much favored by the Chinese for its purity and associations with power and protection. Only 7 inches high and about 10.5 inches wide, this rather small work was probably made to sit on a scholar's desk. Now, scholars were men who would pass the rigorous imperial examinations to serve as government officials. This work was probably carved to evoke the caves of the Kunlun Mountains, which were considered entry points to the abode of the Taoist deity Ji Wang Mu, also known as the Queen Mother of the West. Ji Wang Mu was said to appear to seekers bestowing the gift of immortality. The scholar who possessed this object could gaze at the Jade Mountain and take a mental journey to the Western paradise of Ji Wang Mu, escaping the rigors of life as a government official. This exercise reflected the Taoist belief that inner harmony could be achieved through the pursuit of the Tao, or the Way, the force behind order in the universe. The ultimate goal of Taoists is to become one with the Tao and thereby achieve immortality, or at least longevity. Since the earliest times, mountains were imbued with the sacred power of nature's energy. Heaven and earth met at their peaks. Pierced by caves, as in our example, were viewed as gateways to other realms where aging ceases and people live in harmony. Now, let's examine this work closely. There are pine trees, which are bent and twisted. Pine trees, because of their evergreen nature and endurance in the face of adversity, symbolize longevity. There are also 8 caves carved into the side of the mountain. On the lower left, a figure on horseback emerges from one of these caves. The procession continues up the mountain until we come to the 4th figure from the left. This figure holds a puzzling array of objects, a chime stone, and 3 halberd blades in a vase. If you lived in the Qing dynasty, you probably would have recognized this as a rebus, a word puzzle. You see, the word for chime stone in Chinese sounds like the word for congratulate, and the word for halberd blades sounds like rank. So this object is likely a gift to congratulate someone who passed the imperial examinations as they entered the ranks of officialdom. The procession continues, entering another cave and emerging with 2 horsemen at the top on the right. These 2 figures are about half the size as the ones that began the procession, indicating a sense of distance and perspective. The horsemen appear to be galloping toward a palace or temple buildings, most likely the abode of Ji Wang Mu herself. This piece of jade most likely came from the Kunlun Mountains near Tibet and was transported far to the east by camels and horses, arriving at one of the imperial workshops where it was carved by skilled, anonymous craftsmen. Since the emperor had a monopoly on any jade, it is probable that this work was a gift from the Qianlong emperor himself. With a hardness approaching that of diamonds, jade can be only carved with bamboo sticks and gut string saws by means of wet abrasives made into a paste. Even with modern tools, it is said that a 1-foot cube of jade can take a week to saw through. So a work like this would have taken years to complete. Because of its rarity and the length of time it took to carve, jade was almost exclusively reserved for the ruling elite. I hope you've enjoyed examining this fascinating Jade Mountain, and I invite you to visit the Norton's galleries of Chinese works to take a closer look and discover their hidden stories. Thanks for joining me.